Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we're reviewing the Super Action Statue Shinichi Izumi and Migi. So yes, here we have Shinichi, and this is my first Super Action Statue figure. I've always been interested in them, but they mostly just have lots of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff, which I've never watched. But I've been watching the dub of Parasite recently, and I figured that gave me a good excuse to pick this up. This is the manga version, so it is slightly different, but it still works as a Parasite figure. Now let's go ahead and zoom in with the articulation, sculpt, paint details, all those sorts of things.
Alright, starting with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Shinichi, and there's Migi down there. Here's our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Cosmic Armor Iron Man and 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universal Wolverine. Shinichi's pretty standard, sort of Japanese 1/12 scale, a little bit shorter than American 6-inch scale figures, and of course much bigger than 3 3/4-inch figures. Migi's probably about an inch taller, so that seems accurate. Now let's go ahead and get everything else out of here and just look at Shinichi and Migi. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin here, you can see Shinichi. He's wearing a sort of a sleeveless shirt, really nice stonewash kind of jeans, a little black belt there, and some of those Converse-style sneakers. The paint detail on the jeans and on the sneakers is really good. The sneakers look properly old and worn in, and the pants have really good like stone washing and stuff. His skin also has paint variation on it, maybe a bit too much, because it looks like there's a bit too much difference between each section of his body. It's not terrible, but it's noticeable. Other than that, there's not really a lot going on there, but all the sculpting and everything looks really nice. Let's go ahead and zoom in on his head sculpts. Shinichi has two different head sculpts. He's got one with his hair down, and it's got kind of a distressed face on it, and the other one's a pretty standard kind of face with the hair brushed back. I wish the faces were interchangeable between the different hairs. Other than that, the detail on them is both fine. The painting is all good. There's nothing really to complain about other than what I just mentioned. Now let's go ahead and zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Shinichi's really good. He's got a disc here in the neck, so that goes forward and back. And he also tilts side to side a little bit. He's also got a neck joint, so that'll rotate around a little bit. Ball joint shoulders go in and out, forward and back. They rotate around in the joint a little bit. He's got a ball disc here in the elbow, so that rotates, hinges in and out. Same thing in the wrist, hinge and rotation. He's got a little abdominal joint here, which moves around really well. Same thing below that. Hips go in and out, forward and back, and rotate. He's got those rotating double jointed knees, which is really nice. And then he's got ankle hinge, a little bit of pivoting, and he's got a little toe joint there. So you can get him into pretty much any pose that you really need to, so that's all very cool. Shinichi comes with a lot of extra parts and accessories, so let's go ahead and look at all of that, as well as Migi, as she's smaller, so I'll count her as an accessory. Here are both of the sort of standalone Migis. The one with the blade arms has ball joints in the little blade arms, so those move around, and then the eye stalk rotates, and then her little tail in the back there rotates and is detachable, so you can attach her to Shinichi's hand sort of area. And then the other one just has the tail rotation. Those are both pretty cool. You can just have them sitting around or doing whatever. Here are all of Shinichi's various hands and accessories. You get a big elongating sort of arm. It's got ball discs on both ends and then has 2 points of rotation in it, so you can make it squiggle around a little bit. You get a kind of a stump filler thing with an eye on it. It's got like little prongs coming out of it to fill in if you just take the arm off entirely from the elbow. Big blade hand. Eyeball finger and blades on the sides of it kind of hand. Just eyeball finger. You get a fist hand for the right side that has an eyeball on the little sort of palm area there. You get the full-on kind of Migi hand with the eyes and the little hands in the mouth. And then you get an open palm hand with an eye right in the center. For the other side, you get a holding hand and just a standard fist hand. The holding hand is for this sort of big wooden spear thing. And a sort of... It looks like a big, rusty straight razor, or like a really thin meat cleaver or something. It's a knife of some description. I haven't seen either of those things in the anime, so I don't know what their relevance is, but they are things. And then you get a stand, which is just a pretty standard three-jointed arm stand that you get with pretty much all Japanese import type figures of this kind of scale and stuff. It plugs into a little hole on his back like Figma ones do. Three-jointed arm, and then kind of a weird circular sort of base with the Medicos logo on it. These are detachable. I don't really know why. I don't even know if they're supposed to detach, but they do. So that's a thing. Either way, that wraps it up for Shinichi and all of his accessories. Let's move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, Shinichi comes in this black windowed box. It's got some nice inlaid sort of gold print here on the side that says Shinichi and Migi. Almost everything else on the box is in Japanese, so I can't really read any of that. On the back, you get lots of poses and pictures of all the accessories and more Japanese stuff that I can't read. As with all Windows boxes, these are good for in or out of package display. So yeah, Shinichi Izumi and Migi.
Alright, that wraps it up for Shinichi, so until next time, goodbye!
Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.